Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I am one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. We are the agency that runs this Facebook group, along with several others that are focused on different destinations. And we are also a You Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts. We were actually chosen by them as the top travel agency in the country for 2019. So we have a very special, very close relationship with Universal and love working with them as their travel partner. So, welcome to Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live panel video series that we do in one of our Facebook groups every Sunday night, typically right at 8 p.m. Eastern. We are a little bit late getting on tonight because we had some technical difficulties with our camera, but we have all got all that sorted out. And so we are really excited to be here with you now and to talk to you about Universal on-site hotels. So we are going live this evening using a platform known as StreamYard. StreamYard might ask you if you want to post a comment or a question to approve it to display your username and your profile picture for Facebook or YouTube, however you're watching us tonight. Just know that you don't have to grant that permission. You can decline that and you can still post your question or your comment anonymously, and we will still be able to see that and to interact with you. But we would love to take your questions tonight about Universal on-site hotels. So feel free at any point to drop those into the comments. And then towards the end of the video, we will come back and we will try to get through as many of those questions as we possibly can. So I am joined tonight by my husband, Evan. Evan is my right hand, not only in life in general, but especially in this business. Typically, for every Sundays with MMT session, he runs the back end of everything. So he is the one who is, putting all of our graphics and our pictures and everything up on the screen and kind of making sure that everything runs smoothly. But he actually gets to be on screen tonight so that our other agents can spend Father's Day with their families. And also, by the way, happy Father's Day to not only all of the dads who might be watching us, but also to you, Evan. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much.
So, Evan and I just actually got back this past Thursday from a trip to Universal, and it was a very momentous trip for us because we have now officially stayed at every on site hotel at Universal Orlando. And so, we wanted to share with you tonight our ranking of the on-site hotels based on our experiences staying at each of them. Before we do that, let me just give you a little bit of background information as to how many on-site hotels there are, and just some general ideas of what this is like before we kind of delve into how we rank them. But all total, there are 8 on-site hotels at Universal Orlando. There are 3 premier hotels, which are Hard Rock Hotel, Royal Pacific Resort, and Portofino Bay Hotel. There is 1 preferred hotel, which is Sapphire Falls. There are 2 prime value hotels, which are Universal's Cabana Bay Beach Resort and the Aventura Hotel. And there are 2 value hotels, which are Universal's Endless Summer Surfside Inn and Suites and Universal's Endless Summer Dockside Inn and Suites. So each resort has kind of its own perks and amenities. Personally, I have enjoyed my stay at every Universal on-site hotel, but I love them all for different reasons. And so we're just going to kind of share our ranking based on our own personal preferences and experiences. But again, if you have a different opinion based on your stay, we would love to see you drop those in the comments and kind of interact with us on that too. So let's start with our countdown here. Evan, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first to share our number 8 favorite hotel?
Ladies first.
Okay. So my number 8 is Universal's Endless Summer Dockside Inn and Suites. Now, Dockside is actually the newest property. It's the newest of Universal's on-site hotels. And because it's number 8 for me, that doesn't mean that I think Dockside is a bad hotel. I absolutely don't. When we were there, actually, this was one of the hotels that we stayed in fairly recently. It was very clean. The rooms were very well kept. They have a really great pool. Our kids loved the pool. We rode the bus to the parks. The bus was really quick and efficient to get us from one place to another. We liked the dining options that were there. So I have a lot of positive things to say about this one. It's number 8 for me just because of its location. It is a little bit further from the parks than some of the other options. And also, it is of the endless summer options, it is the larger one. And so, some of the common spaces, like the pool, for instance, there could be just a few more people there than there are, for instance, at Surfside, which is very similar, but a little bit smaller. Evan, what do you think?
I agree with you. It is, as far as like 1 through 8, number 8 would be Endless Summer Dockside for me as well. It, like you mentioned, pretty much all 6 of the 8 resorts are actually within walking distance of the parks, except the 2 Endless Summer resorts. And you do have to take a shuttle over, which, I mean, it takes like, less than a minute to get there on the shuttle. But if I had to rank them, I would rank this one the lowest, simply because of the distance. And well, I can't say the other thing because that'll give away future ones. Gotta keep my secrets as long as possible.
Yeah.
So we'll wait for the rest of that comment when I get to
Okay.
another one.
All right. So far we're in agreement. We would both put number 8 at Endless Summer Dockside. So for me, number 7 would be Cabana Bay Beach Resort. This is probably going to be a little bit of an unpopular decision or unpopular opinion, because I know a lot of people love Cabana Bay, like it might be their favorite one. I love Cabana Bay too. I love anything retro. I love the pools at Cabana Bay. I think they have awesome pools. I love that they have a bowling alley on site. I love just the general overall feel and theming of this property. But for me, I just prefer elements of the others over Cabana Bay. But I will say we are a family of 4, and so we fit comfortably into a standard room at any on-site hotel. If you're a party of 5 or a party of 6, I think that this is a fantastic option for you, because they do have those family suites, which is typically a really nice economical option for larger families. And also, if you love water parks, if you want to be close to Volcano Bay, this is a great choice for you. So Evan, what do you think?
My number 7 is actually different. My number 7 is Endless Summer Surfside. Now, I do love this resort, and as Ginger will probably mention, we got to stay in a 2-bedroom suite, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we had so much space. It was wonderful. I think that some of the amenities at Cabana Bay slightly outweigh Surfside, but I guess I just gave away my number 7 or 6.
Well, it's okay.
Whoops, my bad.
Our 6 and 7 were just flip-flopped, because
Right.
my number 6 was going to be Surfside. Yours was going to
There
be
you go.
Cabana Bay. So we just have our 6 and 7 flip-flopped.
And I think that we have, let me see here. I think that we have a photo of the view out of one of the Volcano Bay rooms.
Mhm. That view is awesome.
Command. I think we have let me see here. Sorry, a little dead air
You're
here.
good.
I thought we had one right off the
I
top
think
of my
we
head
do
here.
have a video clip in
We
there
have
somewhere.
somewhere.
We'll try to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get in the tower rooms, which are where the volcano views are, that
That's
view, I mean,
incredible.
you literally are looking onto the volcano at Volcano Bay, and so that is a really cool picture as well.
We do have clips of it, but I would have to convert it from an MPEG to an MP4 file, and for the sake of time, we won't do that.
Yeah,
but,
we won't do that for the sake of time.
We've shown that on previous Sundays with MMT,
Mhm.
and it really is. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You can actually find that on Ginger's YouTube channel. I can say that because we're the only ones on here, I guess. And she's not saying it, I am. So hopefully she didn't get in trouble. But on her YouTube channel, we have a tour of Cabana Bay
Mhm.
that you can see the interior of that room
Mhm.
and the view out of that Volcano Bay view room.
Mhm.
And that's youtube.com/gingermmt.
And on the Marvelous Mouse Travels YouTube channel, there's also a walkthrough of one of the 2-bedroom suites, which also have that pretty volcano view as well. So lots of different ways that you can get that view. So that's interesting. I think I probably gave the edge to Surfside over Cabana Bay myself, just because I like the feel of that resort.
Sure.
Surfside is very beachy and
Yeah.
airy and bright, and it feels clean and everything. Not that Cabana Bay doesn't, but it's newer, and I think that
That's
was honestly what gave it the edge for me.
that is a good point. That is,
Mhm,
it does feel very bright and
mhm,
well, a lot of natural light in
mhm.
Surfside. Of the two, Surfside or Dockside, I don't think it's a contest. I think it's easily Surfside.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just the lobby is nicer. It's
Mhm.
there's so much natural light. It's a lot of fun to stay at.
Yeah.
Now the dining area for the quick service restaurant at Dockside is gymongous. Is
Yeah,
that
it's
that may
huge.
not even be a word, but
I
it
don't think
is
it
now.
is.
It is huge and understandably so. I mean, it's way bigger than Surfside,
Mhm.
but I like Surfside better. Only reason I gave the nod to Cabana Bay is the proximity to the parks,
Mhm.
especially if going to Volcano Bay.
Yeah.
Um, but then also just the amenities. It's got a lazy river in the pool,
Mhm.
which is really cool.
Mhm.
There's a bowling alley,
Mhm.
and like Ginger said, we both just love the retro vibe of it.
Yeah, and Cabana Bay also has its own dedicated entrance into Volcano Bay,
Sure does.
which, that's pretty awesome as well.
We had our first comment on Facebook. Somebody
Okay.
said, "Hey guys, hey,
Hello. Thanks for watching.
thank you for joining us."
Yeah. So since we've kind of covered 6 and 7 in one lump there because we were flip-flopped on our choices, I'll go ahead and share my number 5. My number 5 favorite is Aventura. Aventura is also, again, a prime value, and you can actually see in that picture right above the U there, that is a guy hanging off the outside of the building washing the windows. So that is a very brave individual, far braver than me. But you can see that they are taking care, just doing upkeep on this hotel. This is one of the newer hotels as well. In fact, it is the newest if you don't count the endless summer ones. This was the one that was built. I want to say it was built in like late 2018 or something like that. So it's fairly
Mhm.
new also. Um Aventura is a great choice, in my opinion, if you have teenagers, if you are going for like an adults only vacation, because it just has a very sleek, modern, clean, kind of techie, upscale vibe to it. And so the elevators at Aventura are really cool. Like it's a very like upscale, not even upscale, but it's just a very top of the line elevator system. They also have just really nice layout to their rooms. Like there's good separation between the bathroom area and the beds. Plus, they do have these beautiful skyline view rooms that you can book, which show you, the skyline of Orlando. They have a really cool rooftop bar and a nice big pool area. So there's lots of things about this one that I like a lot.
I think you're exactly right. This is also my number 5 as well. It is so nice. It is so, just like Ginger said, the tech vibe of it. Everything in the room can be controlled from a iPad,
Mhm,
essentially, that they have in the room.
mhm.
It's
You
it,
can cast if you have,
yeah.
streaming services, you can cast from the iPad to the TV using that iPad too.
It is. I mean, like the lights, the television, everything is controlled from that iPad in the room.
Mhm,
I think even the thermostat, if I'm remembering
mhm. It
correctly.
is.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
It is really, really just a neat place. Ginger mentioned the pool. It is such a neat pool. There's a splash pad area for
Mhm,
kids, but just the pool is so like sophisticated and good eating area downstairs. The rooftop,
mhm,
there's 360-degree views from
mhm.
the rooftop bar up there. There's three all the way around. Like you can see all of Orlando
Yeah,
from up there. It's really really cool.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Um, it is well, if we're comparing it to other locations in Orlando, it is extremely nice.
Mhm,
Um, the only reason that it is not higher on my list is that some of the other ones that are higher up on the list come with free unlimited express pass.
yeah,
If this one came with free unlimited express pass, it would be number 2 or 3,
yeah,
probably number 3 on my
yeah.
list. It's very, very nice.
Yeah, it's a great one. I love that one. And again, that's a prime value hotel. So like it is a very reasonable price tag. It does have, that great proximity to the parks as well. You can take a bus shuttle over and be there in minutes.
You
You
can walk.
can technically walk from there. It's a little bit of a longer walk, but you can walk from the Aventura. So it's a great choice for a lot of different reasons. And I typically do tend to recommend this one to people who are going on that adults only vacation or taking, teenagers or something like that, particularly teenage boys. I think they're going to like the techie vibe and stuff of the room. So let's move on to number 3 or number 4 because 4 comes after 5, not 3. We don't want to skip 4. Okay, again, I think I'm going to do something probably a little bit controversial with this one because I am a huge fan of Unlimited Express Pass. However, I am going to put as my number 4 one of the Express Pass hotels, and I'm going to put Hard Rock as my number 4. Now, Hard Rock, one of the things I will say about Hard Rock is that it has probably the best location of any of the on-site hotels. It is incredibly close to the entrance to Universal Studios. Easy walk between the two. Or you can take a water taxi and be there in like 2 minutes. I mean, it really is very, very conveniently located. I just personally like the rooms in some of the other options better. Not that the rooms in Hard Rock are bad, they're not. I just like the rooms in some of the other choices better. And I like the grab and go quick service food options in some of the other resorts a lot better than I like them at Hard Rock. But Hard Rock does have an incredible pool, as you saw in that previous picture. It also has a really, really great location. Plus, it comes with that unlimited express pass. So there's a lot of things to love about Hard Rock. I just love a few things about some of the others a little bit better.
Well, so this is where it gets difficult, in my opinion, like really difficult, because Ginger makes a really good point. Um, Unlimited Express Pass is a pretty sweet add-on or inclusion, I should say,
Mhm.
for the premieres. If we were ranking these by just like beauty of the resort of the hotel,
Mhm.
Sapphire Falls for me would be like not even number 2. It would be like 1B. Portofino Bay would be 1A, and Sapphire Falls would be 1B because Sapphire Falls is just gorgeous. It is
Mhm.
beautiful.
It's a beautiful hotel.
However, it does not come with unlimited express pass.
It doesn't.
And I'm not kidding. If once you go unlimited express pass, you can't go back. It's a game changer.
It is. Especially if
And
you have kids, young
yes,
kids with you. Yeah.
yes. I mean, it totally unlimited express pass totally changes your experience in the park.
Mhm.
You can do so much if you have that pass. And
Mhm.
so since it's not included at Sapphire Falls, but it is at the next 3 I'm going to talk about, that's the only reason why I put Sapphire Falls number 4 for me.
Mhm.
It truly is absolutely gorgeous.
It is
Um,
beautiful.
what you're seeing on the screen here, those are the falls at Sapphire Falls, and right in the center of the screen, and on the bottom right corner, that's actually the water taxi dock.
Mhm.
And so you can take water taxi from Sapphire Falls.
Mhm.
It is the only hotel that's not a premier level resort that has the water taxi service offered.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful. It
Mhm.
is so pretty.
It is. In fact, that is my number 3. I love Sapphire Falls so much. I love the feel of that resort. I love the dining options there. I love its location. I love the rooms. The rooms are just absolutely beautiful. In fact, I filmed a room walkthrough that'll probably be showing on the Marvelous Mouse Travels YouTube, pretty soon. If you want to check out what the rooms look like on the inside, but it is so relaxing there. And I think that it's got a great location. We were actually part of the reason we were down there is we were working with a team of agents to put together an internal training program for the agency, and we were filming in a big suite at Sapphire Falls, and so that's why we were at that particular hotel, and we were all talking about how this could be like, it feels like one of those premier hotels, and if they would just give it unlimited express pass, it would, nobody would bat an eye that this feels exactly like, in terms of its location, its transportation options, its dining options. It's just got that upscale vibe. And I love it. I love the Caribbean theming of it too.
And it's got the largest pool on site.
It does. That is an awesome pool with a really cool water slide too. Yeah. So Ev, what's your number 3?
Well, so we flip-flopped our 3
Mhm.
and 4. My number 3 is Hard Rock.
Mhm.
And that is simply because it does have unlimited express pass included in the stay.
Mhm.
And the pool at Hard Rock, one neat thing about that pool is you can actually hear the music
Yeah.
under the water, which is really neat. So if listening to music while submerged in water is a favorite pastime of yours, then Hard Rock would be the location for you.
It also has an awesome water slide there too.
It does.
So, yeah.
And this is just a fun thing, but there's a lot of neat memorabilia around Hard Rock. There's one of the cool things that I thought it was cool. I think Ginger did too. In the room, there is a mirror that has different heights of different musical artists.
Yeah.
So you can literally see how you measure up to the different musical artists, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Jimi Hendrix is tall. He was really, really tall. Yeah.
That's a good point. He is tall.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, well, thank you. Somebody said this is amazing information. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm glad this is helpful. I'm very glad.
Yeah.
It is neat that, now that we've gotten to stay at all 8 on-site resorts, we can speak with firsthand experience of here's what this is like, here's what that's like. And I have a feeling that we're probably going to be the same on our number 2 and number 1.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. So one thing I will say too about Hard Rock before we leave that one alone is that I think it depends too on like what you're going to Universal to do. So for instance, if you're going for Halloween Horror Nights, which Halloween Horror Nights tickets just went on sale this week, that is the premier Halloween event in Orlando, for people coming from out of town, for locals. Everybody loves that event if you're into like a little bit more grown up, Halloween type of thing, because that event is recommended only for people 13 and older.
Yeah, I would not take young children to
no,
that
I
event.
wouldn't. I wouldn't take mine either. I just wouldn't as a mom. But and there are people that do. I'm just saying it's recommended for people who are a little bit older. But if you're going for that event, which takes place in Universal Studios, there's really not a better place to stay than Hard Rock because it is literally steps from the entrance.
That is a very good point.
Yeah. So lots of times my clients that are going down primarily for Halloween Horror Nights, that's where I'll recommend that they stay, is at Hard Rock, because it is, and right now, this won't always be the case, but right now early park admission is at Universal Studios. That's really convenient from Hard Rock too, because you're just right there.
And that is a good point. That's a really, really good point. Because it is by far the closest resort to any of the parks. I mean, other than like Cabana Bay and Volcano Bay, but
right.
But I mean, it is definitely the closest to Universal Studios. Actually, and I guess this is a kudos to Universal Orlando. You would never know it just by standing there near the pool or near I guess the west side of the resort. But if you're standing on the west side of the pool or the resort, if you had a baseball in your hand, you could probably throw a baseball and hit the backside of the ET building in Universal Studios. You're so
right
close
there.
to it.
Yeah. And another question I get from a lot of people sometimes with Hard Rock is it really loud? Because notoriously, like Hard Rock cafes, if you've ever eaten in one, the music's pretty loud. And it's really not. I mean, yeah, they play music in the lobby, but once you're up in like the hallways and in the guest rooms, you don't hear that anymore.
Totally agree.
Yeah, don't let that be a concern.
And one thing we do need to mention is the kitchen at Hard Rock.
Yeah.
The kitchen is the table service restaurant. And right out overlooks the pool at Hard Rock, and it's famous in Universal Orlando for its food, and so that is a pro of Hard Rock as well.
For sure, yeah. So let's talk about number 2 and number 3, or 2 and number 1 here, because I think that we're probably the same. So my number 2 is Lowe's Royal Pacific. Is that your number 2 as well?
It is. This is my number.
Yeah.
We actually have a little video clip of this one.
Yeah, let's check it out. So as you can see here, looking at this is just lush, tropical, like Polynesian island feel. It is, just that beautiful Pacific vibe, exactly like the name. And so,
It's really pretty.
this one, the other two premier properties, Hard Rock and Portofino Bay, which we'll talk about in just a second, both have, double sinks in the bathrooms. Royal Pacific has just one sink, so if you really need double sinks, I would definitely say probably go with one of those other two. But that said, the rooms at Royal Pacific are stellar. Like they're very fresh. They're beautiful. They're well kept. That lobby has had some recent renovations. It's got great dining options. There's lots of good table service and quick service options there. It's not taking place right now, but during normal operations, there is a luau on site. There's a Minions character breakfast on site. Like there's just a lot of things to love about Royal Pacific. And Royal Pacific is on, like, the other two premieres are on the Universal Studios side. This is on the Islands of Adventure side. And for me personally, Islands of Adventure is my favorite park. So I like the fact that it's a little bit quicker walk into Islands of Adventure. So for me, that's a pro.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you just said.
Mhm.
You hit the nail on the head. It is the Tuk Market, which is the quick service place on site. It's fantastic. And it's got seating that you can sit there and overlook all these palm trees, and it's beautiful. It's so, I guess the best word, it's relaxing.
Yeah.
It is such a relaxing place.
It
And
is.
it is just a short little walk. I mean, I'd say 5-7 minutes tops, and that's at a leisurely pace.
Yeah.
To Islands of Adventure, City Walk and Islands of Adventure from that side. And one thing we haven't mentioned yet that's really important: Sapphire Falls, Royal Pacific, Hard Rock, and Portofino Bay, the 4 resorts that have water taxi access. If you take that water taxi, or even if you walk, you would go through security.
Yeah.
Before, like on the water taxi, you go through security before you get on the water taxi.
Yeah, that's true. If you walk, you have another place that you go through security on the walking path before you get to the main, like, city walk area. So you don't have to go through the city walk, which is a much more crowded security than it is a little bit quicker, easier process.
It's way faster. And so, not way faster, but it's faster.
It is faster.
And so that's a pro. That's a big pro.
Yeah.
And it is just, it's so convenient. I mean, if you stand outside the front lobby of Royal Pacific, you can look over and see the Hulk in Islands of Adventure. And you're so close, you can actually hear the launch on the Hulk. Whenever Hulk goes roar like that, and it launches out, you can hear that from the hotel.
Yeah.
You're that close to the park.
And I love too about Royal Pacific, and this is also true for Hard Rock and Sapphire Falls as well. Everything is very centrally located at those hotels. So like it's very quick to get to dining. It's very quick to get to the different transportation options. Like everything is, very, very easy to get to. Very convenient.
Absolutely. Great pool. And Royal Pacific as well.
Yeah, there's a really fun splash area at Royal Pacific. So if your kids love a good splash pad, they've got a great splash pad. We did have a question come through.
We had a couple here. Yeah,
let's hit those real quickly.
The kitchen is our favorite restaurant on site. Yeah, absolutely. I think there's probably a whole bunch of people who would agree. Yeah. Absolutely.
For sure, especially for breakfast, I think.
And then this is a nice little segue. Somebody said, is that the same place as Lowe's Portofino Bay Hotel, or is that a completely different one?
Completely different. In fact, segue.
Yes, that is a fantastic question. Thank you so much for asking that.
Yeah, Portofino Bay is, I think, both of our, process of elimination, it's both of our number one.
Ding, ding,
on-site
ding, ding,
hotel.
ding. Number one.
So this is Portofino Bay right here. Royal Pacific has that island
Gorgeous.
vibe. Portofino Bay is an Italian theme. So, you feel like you are in Portofino, Italy. Like it is absolutely gorgeous. We recently, like, this is the hotel that we just checked out of just a few days ago. We love this property because the rooms are just a great size
Oh, man.
at this property. The bathroom in particular is
Yes.
almost as big as the bathroom at my house. Like it's got double sinks. You got plenty of room to the toilet is in like its own little separate room, so there's total
Yes.
privacy. If you're using the restroom, you're closed off from people who might be coming in to wash their hands or something like that. So it's just a very livable room,
Yes.
good sized room, and it's just beautiful there. Like it's so picturesque. We kept saying that we were walking around, like, just to go to breakfast. We were like, it is so beautiful here. It's so pretty.
They obviously, when they were making that hotel, it is obvious that they were planning like little vignettes as you look out a window and you're just walking down the hallway to your room. Little areas like at the window, like, oh, look at that area, and then you can go down there and be in that area. I mean, like it's so cool. In the room, there's a photograph of Portofino, Italy, that they have modeled the hotel after, and it looks just like that. Like there's boats in the water, like the buildings look just like this. It's really a neat place.
It is beautiful. And, there's little balconies and little courtyards where you can go sit and eat. I really liked the dining options there a lot too. Like even the main quick service location was Sal's Market Deli, I think. And they had great pizza, great sandwiches and calzones. It was really, really good. And it is too a quick transit to the parks. Now, if you're walking, this one's probably going to be, what do you think, Evan, 10, 12 minutes by walking, on foot to the park. And keep in mind, that's for us. We're pushing a stroller. So, maybe you can get there a little bit faster if you're not pushing a stroller, but you also have that great water taxi access, which is going to get you there in, just 5 minutes, and so I love this one. This one is also on the Universal Studios side. So that makes it, a good choice for Halloween Horror Nights. Not as close as Hard Rock, but still pretty close. So I just love this one. I love the larger rooms. I love all the pretty areas. We got to stay club level this most recent time. And that was a really great experience too, because it came with continental breakfast, which was a pretty hearty breakfast. We had hot sandwiches or breakfast wraps.
Very good.
Really, really good. For dinner, they called it heavy hors d'oeuvres, but we had like grilled chicken breasts, Spanish rice, green bean. I mean, it was a full dinner. And then they have desserts in the evenings. They have drinks. They have afternoon snacks. So that was a really nice perk. We do like to come back and take a break at the hotel, and it was convenient to do so because we could take the taxi or we could walk over. And I think in the long run, it probably ended up saving us money because we weren't having to pay for meals in the park. We could come back and have dinner or grab a snack in the afternoon if we wanted to.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. I mean, that's all you can say. The attention to detail is astounding, and it's like I said, there's just so many little pathways and vignettes over here and a little area over here, a huge beautiful courtyard, and I mean, it's beautiful. You would see people reading books out in the courtyard area, next to a fountain. I mean, it's just
they have little
really, really pretty place.
They have little stationary Vespas that you can sit on and have your picture taken and stuff like that. So, it's really cute and well themed. So if we're talking about like the order of pricing for all of these different options that we've talked about, Portofino Bay, and there's a lot of factors that can go into this. Sometimes you'll have a promotion at one resort that can kind of alter this rank a little bit. But typically, if we're just talking about like standard pricing, Portofino is typically going to price out the highest, but not by much. Typically, Hard Rock's going to be right after that. Royal Pacific is going to be kind of your lead in on pricing in most cases for those premier resorts. Sapphire Falls is going to be next up on the list. Cabana Bay and Aventura for standard rooms are typically priced about the same. Same thing is true for the two Endless Summers. They're typically priced about the same, but they'll be a little bit lower than Aventura or Cabana Bay.
And you know that you just brought up a really good point. Both of us ranked Royal Pacific number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And of the 3, it is of the 3 premiers that offer unlimited express pass, it's usually the cheapest.
Yeah.
Most Inexpensive.
That's true.
That's a selling point.
It's a selling
big time
point.
for Royal Pacific. So
absolutely,
that's points for it. It's a beautiful place
it's
too.
A beautiful place. I love it.
Very relaxing.
I think we got through all of our comments already. So I'll go ahead and just kind of wrap us up for tonight. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody who watched, and thank you to those who, shared comments and asked questions. We really appreciate it. We have a lot of fun talking about these on-site hotels, and definitely have, a lot of fun staying there as well, and hope to make more trips back soon in the future to experience them again. If you would like to get more information about planning a trip with Marvelous Mouse Travels, you can visit marvelousmousetravels.com/contact us. Just keep in mind that it is completely free to book your vacation through an agent. You are not going to pay any more than if you were to book that vacation yourself on Universal's website, but you are going to benefit from expertise like this, for people who have stayed in these properties and have that firsthand knowledge that can share with you, those valuable experiences, and, can kind of walk you every step of the way through that planning process. So we book everything from theme park vacations to all-inclusives to cruises and beyond. So we hope you enjoyed watching with us tonight, and we hope to see you again next Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.
Have a good evening.